don't know why he came in just hot like that.
Dude, I never seen it. Bro, did you see, it was like he was playing hopscotch. He was kicking, punching,
I don't
kicking,
know what
punching.
that was.
It was very weird.
It's almost like he just had adrenaline was running through. I don't know what he was thinking. No strategy. All right, welcome to the show. Inside the Distance. I'm with Mike the MadLab Ayurado.
What's up?
And I'm Anthony Bush Bashir. We're jumping right into it real quick. Now, Mike, big fight Saturday night. Raleigh Romero, Barroso. Tell everybody what happened with Tony Weeks.
Did you see any of it?
So I didn't watch the fight. I was watching Terminator with my kid for the first. He never saw Terminator 1, the first one.
That's nuts.
So we watched part 1, then we watched part 2, which I forgot how awesome it was. But you forgot how good Terminator 2 was. Anyway, so I missed it. This dude texted me, and I turned the fight on. It was over. I just missed it. He goes, dude, you have no idea what happened. I go, what? He said, Tony Weeks stopped the fight for no reason. Then I saw it on Twitter later. And, dude, I didn't watch the whole fight. I just watched that sequence. He wasn't even really hurt.
He didn't even hit him.
And then you told me that that Barroso was winning.
He was winning the fight. He came in. It was, for those of you, he was in minus like 900. I think he closed at like minus 1100. Raleigh Romero, and you could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to be a lot different than he did with Gervonta Davis. He was very patient. He was patient to a fault. It was ridiculous. But he was running a lot. And Barroso looked like my father's father in there, dude.
Yeah,
that's
how old is he?
He's only 40, which means he's probably 50. You know,
Have you seen the man's pants?
right? But the dude, he does have some legitimate power and stuff like that. But he just, I was looking at this guy. I was like, all right, he's probably going to give him some problems in the beginning. He ends up literally bro, I had him winning the first 4 rounds on Raleigh. Knocked him down, put Raleigh down. Raleigh ended up coming back. I forget what round it was, but he ends up putting him down. Then on the replay, it shows that he never hit him. He threw him down. Tony Weeks called it a knockdown. It was never a knockdown. And then later on, he had him against the ropes. He hit him with one good shot to put him against the ropes. You could see he was a little stunned. Threw about 5 punches after that. Not one of them landed, and Tony Weeks stepped in and stopped the fight. It was like, even the announcers, all their voices went up like 3 octaves. They were like, what?
I heard it. Tony Weeks stopped the fight.
I mean, it was the worst stop. It was one of the top 5 of all time I've ever seen.
That guy's been reffing forever, bro.
Bro, he was the ref in Castillo Corrales.
I know that.
And he let them push the envelope.
Yeah, of course.
The only thing I could think of is that, everyone right away, it was rigged, it was this, that. The only thing that was a little fishy about that, a little bit, was that the over and under was 10.5 rounds.
And what was it?
It ended right before then.
Did it?
Yeah. That was a little weird. But what I think is that Tony Weeks was looking at him from a fighter-to-fighter basis, saying he's 40 years old. Maybe he is rocked and kind of stepped in prematurely. But there was no excuse for it, but that's the only thing I could think of.
Continues to happen. UFC, boxing, never-ending story with the bad judging and bad reffing. What are you going to do? Now, speaking of boxing, we got a big fight coming up Saturday night. You guys are boxing fans. You know who Vasily Lomachenko is. You know who Devin Haney is. This is a huge fight. Lomachenko being probably the greatest amateur boxer of all time. Fastest guy to capture a title when he came in. If you guys don't know the story, you'll see a little link here. We're going to put one of those cards in here to click on it. Mike did an awesome breakdown of the Lomachenko-Haney fight coming up on our channel. Go watch that if you like deep dives. And Mike took a real deep dive into it, and we looked at the history of these guys, and he called his prediction, which you'll watch on the video that he did. But it's a tremendous video. He did a great job with it. Go watch it, and I'm excited for this fight Saturday night.
Great fight.
I didn't know that Lomachenko, and I hate using the injury excuse, but I didn't know that he was injured against the Teofimo
Lopez
fight.
yeah.
Lopez fight. So he lost that fight and Salido fight, which he came back and avenged that fight. Wait, did he ever fight Salido?
No, what happened with Salido was the 40 low blows.
The low blows, yeah.
You know, but he would have been, he tied for getting the title the fastest coming in. He would have been the fastest if he would have beat Salido. And he still took that fight to a split decision.
I'm telling you, man, I don't know about this fight, dude. I got a feeling Lomachenko's going to win this fight and prove a lot of people wrong. Here's a 3-1 dog. I like those odds. I'll take them all.
Yeah, then the odds are nuts. Watch the video.
Yeah, watch the video, okay? All right, last card. Quickly, briefly covered.
Bro.
The last card.
Terrible. The last 3 weeks have been as strange as they get. They've been as strange as they get. First of all, you got the thing that bothered me the most about this card. There's always kind of been like one. The one fight that bothered me the most was Cody Stamann and the Andrade. I know you didn't watch that one, right?
No, but what I did say is, oh man, I call him the Gremlin D'Andrade. I'm like, oh, I saw Mike put a spot on Stamen. My stomach was like, oh, this little D'Andrade somehow he's so tough.
It's like it never fails. You got a guy who literally it's like rule number one. Cody Stamen gets up kicked from the top position. Ref pulls him off, gives him his warning, gives him time to shake it out, and then you're supposed to put them back in position.
So he didn't deduct a point.
Well, it was the first foul. I understand that. Okay, it's a warning.
Isn't the rule if you deduct a point, don't give him position?
No point.
But if you don't deduct a point,
You got
that's like standard.
Give him a warning, and they continued to stand.
How did he not give him the position?
I have no idea. So that was what honestly lost him that round.
Yeah, that sucks.
Because he had him pinned to the ground, he had top control. He looked, and he ends up getting up kicked. That lost him the round. Second round, all D'Andrade. Third round, Stamen won. But at the end of the day, that's what kind of gave him the fight. Like the ref kind of gift wrapped that fight. Gabe Green, I don't know what the hell he was doing.
I saw that.
I mean,
that I watched.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know why he came in just hot like that.
Dude, I never seen it. Bro, it was like he was playing hopscotch. He was kicking, punching,
I don't
kicking,
know what
punching.
that was.
It was very weird.
It's almost like he just had adrenaline was running through. I don't know what he was thinking. No strategy. How about he ain't getting it, bro?
Looked great. Kid looked great. Still has. Listen, at the end of the day, he still has to prove to me that he could fight a complete fighter.
You know what? That was a good.
But he's good. I like him.
He's never been knocked out before.
I like him. He's like we said in the breakdowns. He's ever evolving. Carlos Olberg once again, another big showing. Anthony Smith.
Wow.
What happened to Anthony Smith?
I know, and it looks like he aged overnight.
I mean, what happened to Anthony? Dude, did you hear him in the cage?
He was just defeated in there.
But did you hear what he was saying? No, what he was saying to Johnny Walker, he's like, you attacked my family. And Johnny Walker's going, what? He's like, you tried to attack my family. He's like, what are you talking about? So the only thing that I can think of is he hit him low once. So maybe he was talking about attacking his family. I don't know. People are like, oh, he's doing that to psych himself up and put himself in a scenario. I'm like, he's like, you attacked my family? And you hear Johnny Walker go, huh? And he goes, you attacked my family? And he goes, what?
You know what? Johnny Walker's starting to grow on me a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't like him for the longest time. Nah, you know what? I just think like he's like a happy, fun guy.
No, he is. He is a happy
He
fun
gets all
guy.
goofy
Yeah.
at the end. First I thought it was corny. I actually was happy for the guy.
Well, where's he
I felt
going?
bad for Anthony Smith. I don't know.
What happened to him?
I don't know, bro. You better not put a spot on him again. It's over.
I mean, from a guy who literally gave the ref his teeth.
Yeah, remember?
In a fight.
I
mean, I'm not talking bad about him because I love him. And then obviously we knew what Almeida was going to do to Rosenstruck.
All right. Anyway, let's cut to this quick little advertisement here. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Anthony, a.k.a. Bush from the MadLab, MMA.com. I'm here with Mike, the MadLab Irato.
What's up, guys?
If it's your first time here to the channel, do us a favor. Subscribe. It means a lot to us. We're working hard at growing our audience. Hit the bell notification so you get notified when we post new content. And we now have our new interview series, Fighting Words. And you're going to see interviews with fighters. And we do breakdowns every week of the upcoming UFC cards. And we also break down boxing, any kind of combat sport. So we appreciate you watching the show. Welcome. Subscribe to the channel. Like, comment. We want to hear from you. And back to the show.
It's free.
All right. Let's go. We got a card this weekend. Not the greatest card. Not even close to being the greatest card. But if you're a fight fan, we got fights Saturday night. We'll start with the main event first. We got Mackenzie Dern. Actually, that's one of MadLab's. As far as the women's stable, you know, MadLab has his guy stables. You know what I mean? Anthony Smith, who is now probably.
No, she's not my woman's stable.
Mackenzie Dern?
Coming out, she was. Let's relax.
World class, grew up.
Well, she is.
World champion.
She is.
She
though.
trained under.
She is.
Come on.
You know who my girl is.
Who?
Irene Aldana.
I know Aldana.
That's my girl.
But Dern's one of those.
Yeah, she fell off.
Plays around in the
She
stable
fell
sometimes. Mackenzie Dern, Angela Hill, been around forever. It's actually a pretty good fight. As much as I don't like women being the main event unless it's a championship fight. Not a bad fight. You know, Dern lost 2 of her last 3. Jan and Marina Rodriguez, 2 very good fighters. She beat Tisha Torres by a split. She just, I don't know, man, for her background, and she's still just not living up to the potential of her accolades. Let's say that. Angela Hill's just tough. She's always tough. She's just there. And when you think she's not there, she just comes back, puts together a 2-fight winning streak, hanging around. Lost 3 in a row, won 2 in a row. So she just stays in UFC. She's a tough out for anybody. She's better than her record shows. I don't know, man. This is a really tough fight. I'm going to take Mackenzie Dern and think that she gets it to the ground because I think on the feet, Hill has an advantage here. So I'm going to say Dern. Angela Hill's just tough to finish, So as much as I want to say Dern by submission, I'm going to say Dern by decision because of a lot of control.
All right. When this was supposed to be a 3-round fight, I was going to pick Angela Hill because I figured that she would have enough in her step to kind of stay away, keep her ground. Mackenzie Dern is notoriously known for her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, terrible wrestling. Her striking has come along, but her ace of spades is her grappling, is her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you're giving me 5 rounds and Mackenzie Dern just needs to get us to the ground one time, that's when I start leaning towards Mackenzie Dern. So Angela Hill, she throws a lot of volume. She's been on the wrong side of some decisions, which I feel bad. If you look at her record,
very close decisions. She should have won. I thought it went the wrong way.
Her record. She's a lot better than her record shows. Where Mackenzie Dern, one can argue she isn't as good as an MMA fighter as her record shows. So Angela Hill's a better striker. She's faster, much more volume, decent takedown defense. But Mackenzie Dern, it doesn't matter who you are, what caliber of takedown defensive you have, what kind of defensive grappling. Mackenzie Dern is on a different level with her grappling. So if you're giving me 25 minutes, and also Angela Hill's not a knockout artist. This is not a girl that's going to just knock out Mackenzie Dern. She's going to do it with volume. She's going to do it with pace. She's going to do it with numbers. Mackenzie Dern, you give me 25 minutes, and you're telling me she can't get her to the ground once. I find that hard to believe. Three-round fight, I go Angela Hill. 5-round fight, I'm going Mackenzie Dern. I'm going to go Mackenzie Dern. I'm going to say 3rd-round submission.
Calling this up here.
Yeah.
All right. Next fight on the card, the co-headliners, Edward Shabazian versus Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. I hate that nickname so much. Fluffy Hernandez really made his name when he submitted Rodolfo Vieira, right? Because Vieira is known as one of the best submitters.
Black belt hunter.
Yeah, and then he submitted him, and wow, oh my God, who is this guy? That kind of made a name for himself. Shabazian was a real hot up-and-coming prospect who just hasn't lived up to his potential at all. He had a bad 3-fight losing streak. I think the Hermanson fight really just flattened him there. He lost to Brunson. He lost to Imamov. Then he bounced back with a win against Lugambula. But I mean, he's still young. He still could prove himself in the UFC. This is another close fight, man. I don't even know what the line is on this fight, but I feel like Fluffy just has a little more momentum right now, and he won the 3 in a row. He beat tough Marco Barrio friend Vieira, his favorite. So I'm gonna go with Hernandez, and how am I gonna call it the end? Hernandez by submission.
Oh yeah, all right. Shabazian is one of those guys who came in. Everybody thought he was going to be a lot better than he was. And I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. I'm just saying he came in with a little bit more clout under his belt. Anthony Hernandez is a good fighter, but he really did, like Anthony said, make his accolades on that submission against Rodolfo Vieira.
Remember that he was like a plus 700 dog in that fight?
Yeah, and by all rhymes and reasons, it doesn't make him a better grappler because the fact of the matter is when you are as gassed as Rodolfo Vieira is, my sister could have submitted him. Like at that point, it doesn't even matter. You put these guys on the mat fresh. Anthony Hernandez loses 100 times out of 100 in the grappling match. So it's not that Anthony Hernandez is not some versed submission artist. He's got good submissions. He's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's not bad. But that one win does not make him this elite grappler because he subbed Rodolfo Vieira that's had 5% in the gas tank. Shabazian, a good striker. He's also got good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, just doesn't use it all that often. If you look at the numbers here and you look at some of these stats, the strikes landed, it's in Hernandez's favor. The striking accuracy is in Hernandez's favor. The striking absorbed is in Hernandez's favor. The defense is in Hernandez's favor. The takedown average is in Hernandez's favor. The takedown accuracy is in Hernandez's favor. The takedown defense is in Hernandez's favor. And the submission average is in Hernandez. Every metric is in Hernandez's his favor here. Not that that means anything, but then when you throw in a 3-fight winning streak against Vieira, Fremd, and Barriault, and you have
Barriault's tough.
Barriault's very tough, and then you got Shabazian, who beat Lagambula, lost to Imavov, lost to Hermanson, lost to Brunson. Even though those are good names, the trajectory is just a little bit different. And this fight is so close to me that when you look at the variables of it, it's just kind of hard not to go with the momentum of Anthony Hernandez. So I'm going to go Anthony Hernandez. I don't think he's going to sub him, but I think it's going to be, I'll say Anthony Hernandez by decision.
There you go. Next fight on the card, we have another women's fight. We got Emily Gordinha. Doesn't Gordinha mean fat?
No.
Gordo means fat.
Huh?
Gordo in Spanish means fat. What's Gordinha? Wouldn't that be fat?
It's Emily Ducote.
What?
Emily Ducote, Lupe Godinez.
No, dude, her nickname, Gordinha.
Oh, yeah.
That should be fat, right? I think.
You would know.
Like Portuguese,
Right.
Yeah, is that what does it mean? That means fat?
Well, Gordo is fat.
Gordo
man.
is fat.
Gordinha, you would think would be fat girl.
You don't know? You would know. No.
I would think the same thing.
All right, I'm guessing it's Emily Fat Ducati. It's Lupe Godinez.
Emily the Fats.
All right, Lupe Godinez is a decision rider. I'm out of her 9 wins, 7 by decision, never been finished. Emily Fat, I don't know much about her.
That's her name now.
That's her name
Fat.
now. You know, she lost to Hill in her last one. She could elude takedowns. She has proven to do. I like Lupe Godinez in this fight. I like her by decision.
Lupe Godinez is coming in on short notice on this fight, so that's the only thing that does concern me with her a little bit. You know, she's got a win over Calvillo, but there is something to be said that a lot of people thought she lost that fight. So technically, she could be on a two-fight losing streak. She lost to Angela Hill. She beat Carnelozzi. Nothing really great about that. She beat Luke Booming. Okay, good fight. She lost to Carolina. So she's been kind of underperforming too. Everyone kind of jumped on her coattail a little bit when she had the 2 wins in a row. Remember when they were so close back to back? She won one, then she came back in and she won one. And the way she makes her money is she's kind of big for the division. She's kind of like a bully in there. She could bully. She's not going to be able to bully Emily Fats. You know, and Emily Fats. She's not even going to be able. She's not going to be able to bully her in there. You know, Emily Ducote is a tough girl. She's got good takedown defense. Lupe Godinez, a lot of people look at her like she's this big grappling ace, when Emily Ducote is actually the one with the black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Although she doesn't use it all that much. She's coming off a loss to Angela Hill. She beat Jessica Pena. She doesn't have, she's still got more to prove. If you look at the level of competition, you got to go with Lupe. This is a really, really tough one to call for me. I'm actually going to go with Emily Ducote here. I'm going to go with the dog. I think she's shown more to me, and I think that if you give Lupe the path to being the bully, which she likes, and you kind of nullify that, I think that's when her game will start falling apart. So I think that's what's going to happen. Lupe's going to try to bully her, going to try to get a takedown. I think Emily Ducote is going to be able to stuff certain things and kind of reverse the bully on her. And I think it's going to probably be a close fight. I'm going to say by decision, maybe a split decision. But why not? I'll go Emily Ducote, Emily Fats by decision.
Emily Fats by decision. All right. Next, look at that. And we did it with 15 seconds to spare. This next fight on the card, can we stop it and start it?
Yeah.
Stop, start. Stop. Start. You got to wait for it to run out. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2, 1. All right, come on. All right, next fight on the card. This is actually a good fight, man. Andre Fiallo, Joaquin Buckley. I remember when Buckley first came into the UFC. I remember Mike. He was going against Kevin Holland. And Mike said, "Dude, this guy Buckley, man,
No, not Kevin Holland.
For his first debut, wasn't it Kevin Holland?
Arroyo, wasn't it?
No, his debut.
Oh, yeah.
Mike saying, "Come here, bro. This guy Buckley looks like a little Mike Tyson." He had some videos of footage of Buckley in the regional circuit. So this guy fights kind of like Mike Tyson. I'm a little worried about it against Holland. We picked Holland. Holland didn't win that fight. Then Buckley comes in and has that knockout of the century, that kick against
Kasanganai. Remember that?
Remember that when he knocked him out with his elbow behind his head? Then everybody was high on Buckley. Then he gets kneed in the head by DiChirico. Remember that?
Yeah.
He got kneed in the head, got knocked out. Then after that, he put together a winning streak. He beat El Rey, beat Arroyo, Duraev. Then now he's on a 2-fight losing. Lost to Imavov, lost to Curtis. So
good fighters, though.
yeah, all good fighters. Tough competition. Fiallo, he was on Dana White's like favorite list because he fought like 3 fights within like 6 weeks,
Yeah,
right?
remember?
But then he got starched in that third one,
Mm-hmm.
right? He won those first 2, then he got starched by Jake Matthews, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Then he lost again against Salikov, tough fighter. So this is a pretty evenly matched fight. There's something about Fiallo that I like, and there's something about Buckley that I don't like. I don't know if it's the way he carries himself.
Mm-hmm. I think it's his attitude.
Maybe it's his attitude. I don't know. I think this is a banger. I think this is going to end with a knockout, and I think that Fiallo is going to knock out Joaquin Buckley.
But it's definitely going to be a knockout here. I mean, there's not even. Both of these guys were knocked out in their last fights. Fiallo was knocked out, 2 times in a row to Salikov and Matthews, and him to Curtis. The thing that worries me about that, I wanted to pick Fiallo so bad in this fight because I don't like Buckley. I'm like you. There's something about him that just rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what it is. But at the end of the day, there are 2 strikers. One of them's coming in as the southpaw, which is Buckley. He's got a 2-inch reach advantage. He's the better athlete. He's got wrestling in his back pocket if he needs to use it. He's the faster fighter. It's just there's a lot of variables involved in this, and Fiallo has looked very fragile in his last 2 fights.
I know.
Like I understand he's fighting guys like Salikov and Matthews. He's not fighting.
Well, that one was such. I mean, he fought 3 times, so I gave him a pass on the Matthews fight.
Right.
But then the Salikov fight.
But it's more the speed. Like Fiallo is just a slow, sluggish fighter with a lot of power. So I wouldn't be shocked if Fiallo wins. The guy hits like a truck, but I just think there's too many variables in here for Buckley to win this fight. If his cardio holds up. So I'm going to go Buckley. I'm going to go Buckley by knockout. But like I said, this is a fight that honestly I could teeter either way on.
I think Fiallo's going to weather the storm in the first round, get past the first round, and then get Buckley like a late second round knockout.
I wouldn't doubt it.
All right, last fight on the card. Another good fight actually too. Michael Johnson, Diego Ferreira.
Yeah, this is a great fight.
It's a great fight. Johnson's been around forever. He's still pretty fast. He still has very bad cage IQ historically. Diego Ferreira. He's a much better fighter than this 3-fight losing streak is. I mean, look, he lost to Gamrot, Gillespie, and Dariush. I mean, you're talking about 3 very high caliber fighters here, So you can't just look at that in this fight right here. He lost 3 in a row because he's a much better fighter than that. I think Diego Ferreira is a little comeback fight for him, and I think he pulls this one, and I think he wins. I'm going to say he subs Michael Johnson.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's frustrating about Diego Ferreira is this guy is a 3rd-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Super talented, but he just cannot secure a takedown to save his life.
I mean,
he's 24% in takedowns.
Yeah, Roger.
You know what I mean? I know, but I'm saying.
That makes it look worse.
But I'm saying in his career, he just has not had the ability to wrestle his way to the ground, to control his opponents enough to get submissions, and it shows in his record. Like it is what it is. But this is a guy who, if he does get you to the ground, there's not many people that he can't sub. Yeah. He does have good hands. His hands have gotten better too. But I mean, against a guy like Michael Johnson, you have to be afraid of Michael Johnson.
He's older too.
He's older than Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's a fight that you got to be very nervous about on either side. On Diego Ferreira's side, because if it's a 3-round striking affair, you got to give the edge to Michael Johnson. I know Diego Ferreira is also a good striker, but at the end of the day, Michael Johnson is extremely slick in the cage. The thing that you got to worry about on Michael Johnson's end is there's not many people that are as good of a first-round fighter as Michael Johnson. Like, he's so good in the first round, you put your money down on him, and he wins the first round. You're like, we got this, dude. He looks great. And then all of a sudden, he does something stupid in the second round, and he loses. It happens time and time again, and it's not a coincidence. It's his cage IQ is putrid. I mean, the guy just has a horrible cage IQ. I have a feeling that that's exactly what's going to happen in this fight. I think Michael Johnson's going to come out. He's probably going to start piecing Diego Ferreira up.
Almost finish him.
He's going to stuff his takedowns. He's going to look great. Everyone's going to be like, Michael Johnson looks awesome, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then something's going to happen where Diego either jumps his back or somehow he's going to be in that 24 percentile where he actually gets him down and ends up subbing him, because the majority of Michael Johnson's losses do come by submission. So even though
why I'm thinking submit him. I like second round submission.
So I'm going to say Diego Ferreira by sub, but I would not be shocked if Michael Johnson knocks him out in the first round either.
You know, now that we went through the main card, it's actually not a bad card.
You look at the prelims.
You know, besides the prelims, as far as the main card, it's actually not that bad.
It's not. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not.
If you're a fight fan, it'll be a fun card.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, we got Christine's dog pick of Showdown's dog pick of the week. And there you have it. MadLab, you have any final closing thoughts
That's it. Let's.
before the big boxing fight Saturday night?
Yeah, guys, watch that video that I posted. If there's anything that was mandated to watch, if you guys aren't into boxing, you're trying to get into boxing, this is probably the fight you guys want to watch. These are two very technical fighters. You got a counter fighter and an out fighter in Devin Haney, and you got a mid-range fighter and an in fighter who is like a magician in Lomachenko. So just to watch this chess match unravel, the stylistic matchup is how you're really going to appreciate the sport. It's not like these middle-level fighters that are coming in slanging and banging. These guys are literally going to be playing human chess in there. And if you guys are trying to get into the sport, this is probably one of the fights you want to watch.
There you go. We'll see you next week.